interferes with my learning, said Einstein, is my education. Does your education get in the way of how you learn the form? How should we approach this fundamental part of our training? What is the right attitude? And are there any secret tips to learning more efficiently? Find out today in part 2 of how to learn the Tai Chi form with the Teapot Monk. Hi everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the form on Talking Tai Chi with the Teapot Monk. Last week we looked at the structure of the form, its roots, its history, and the way it is taught. Today I want to focus on something else, and that is one of my favourite themes, teaching and learning, because it's all well and good saying to students, learn the form, or I'll teach you the form. In fact, it's far too easy to promise this, when in effect students have major difficulties, not just with the postures and coordination, but with the techniques of learning too. So today we're going to focus on ways to learn the form. The best approach to learning the form is to empty yourself. The classic story of the Zen master overfilling the enthusiastic student's cup with tea comes to mind here. The more we think we know, the less we can really see what we have to do. If the body is free of all tension, free of all expectation, and the mind is free of all distraction, then true learning can take place. If the mind is stagnant, the postures assimilated through the lens of an earlier session, then the form will never truly be learnt. It will only be poorly copied. This is not just the babbling of a crazy man in the south of Europe, it's also the thoughts of Krishnamurti, Bruce Lee, Thoreau, and a host of other creative minds. And before you begin to employ that lump of grey matter, learn to switch it off first and foremost when learning this sequence of moves, because our conscious mind tries too hard to grasp the facts and the details of every sequence. The worst teachers are those that overanalyze, giving out handouts on foot angles, weight distribution, and a 10-step checklist for obtaining the correct angle of your eyebrow. Trust your body. Allow the body to learn by simple repetition. Focus on the pattern and the feeling of flow from one movement to another. It is these factors that make a practitioner competent. And I believe a good instructor of bean-curd boxing should always try to emphasize the fundamental rules rather than the strict geometrical positions. Move with empty weight. Keep the spine straight. One part moves, all parts move, etc., etc., etc. The basic rules that are found in what is known as the Tai Chi classics. A set of principles, sometimes rather vague and abstract, that define the basic underlying movements of Tai Chi. The most common way of learning the form is to try and memorize it. This is also the worst way. It is only when we forget all our learning, said Henry Thoreau, that we begin to know. If we only use our heads to understand, imitate, and then reproduce the movements, we will have learnt little else other than how to effectively copy. Although this might give the impression of learning, it is in fact no different than learning how to draw by using tracing paper. Instead, feel for the pattern of the moves. Watch to see how your body interprets them. Yes, of course, copy your teacher, but ingest the moves, absorb them, taste them. Make them yours. Your teacher will probably be hoping that you will just imitate him or her. Do this if you have no choice, but don't let it become a habit. And it may sound obvious, but remember to keep your eyes open and aware of what's happening around you when you're practicing the form. Don't go all otherworldly. Don't go off in search of another planet somewhere. Stay on Earth when practicing Tai Chi. It is not a shortcut for astral projection. If you're looking to travel amongst the clouds, try paragliding. Okay, I hope we're all clear on that now.
Sir, yes, sir!
Finally, one last tip for learning the form, and that is to simply observe. Don't always try and do it at the same time. Stop copying for a moment. Stand or sit to one side of the class and watch the rest of the group go through a complete form. Watch how the other students cope and how they interpret the moves and the fundamental transitions. See yourself as part of this whole process and not something separate. Do it regularly, even if the other students in the class get a bit huffy with you for staring at them and spending inordinate amounts of time sitting on one side and examining them. It's a worthwhile exercise, and you will gain an overview for your learning that will feed directly back into the quality of your performance. But what about time? How long does the form take to learn? Why are some forms long and others short? Why are some square and others round? For this, you'll have to come back next week for the final part in this series on the form, forms, and formulas. Looking to discover what Tai Chi can do for you, or curious and would like to know a little more? Well, just come over to 21stcenturytaichi.com. Look for the link in the show notes. There's short introductory courses, breathing, health, Tai Chi form, sword, philosophy applications and more, plus books, PDFs and great videos and even music. Got a question? Track me down on social media as the Teapot Monk. Thanks for listening.